welcome to week 5 of your English 7B course. It's going to be a really short session today. We're just going to talk again about Project 4 and 5. Projects 4 and 5 are pretty much the same thing, only you're going to turn in a better, more polished one in Unit 5. So, you have your poem that you chose and the poet that you chose. Do you have any questions about that? Any questions about the poem or poet? Yes? No? Okay. Great, go ahead. What can I answer for you? Nothing? Okay. Well, I really appreciated that. So you do have your poems and poets and you have no questions. Okay, so this is pretty much, I just included from last week what I sent out for sort of the agenda items, because this is what you're going to be working on. So I'm just going to close out of here, and we're going to start talking about how we do some revising. So how we do some advising. So today this is your the final we do this week, and then next week you get to do a digital poster, which is something you can do online, which I think will be a lot more, which will be a lot of fun. So we'll close out of there. So what I'm going to talk to you about today are types of editing. All right, types of editing, ways to make things a little bit easier, and to how to really get those papers polished for yourself in an easier way, in a way that would just kind of, you just do A, B, and C and really end up with a better paper. So we're going to talk about this. So by the end of this, you will understand the difference between revising and editing. So what's revising and what's editing, and where are they in the processes? So let's go there. Okay, what is the difference between revising and editing? Revising is checking out the ideas you want to include are in your work. So let's say you chose a poem and you chose, I'm going to go back to Walt Whitman, and you chose the poem, and there are certain things about it that really affected you, like the use of flowers, or the use of the bells, or the use of the fallen, cold, and dead. You want to make sure that those are used in there. So making sure that you're using the words that you want to use, word choice, diction, and checking to see if your work is organized. So you start talking about maybe you open with the poet or you open with the poem, and then it's in the way that you want it to be. Editing is about conventions and more. So making sure you capitalize the correct words, using the correct nouns and verbs, punctuation, spelling errors, etc. Again, I'd like to highly recommend the use of Grammarly.com. I think you'll really find that that's great. There are paid subscriptions that you can use, but you don't have to, by no means. It still works nicely. So here we are, the difference between revising and editing. Revising is working with larger pieces, like sentences and paragraphs, and then editing is your smaller pieces. So revising is the ideas and organization and things like that. Editing is word choice and spelling and making sure that you have that together. So why are both of them important? Well, it's one way to catch your errors, and if you're revising, you might catch some editing errors, and if you're editing, you might catch some revision errors. Oh, we like this. This is called arms and cups, and so that's what we're going to talk about. Arms is for revising. Add, remove, move, and substitute. This is very nice. This is something that that is a digital poster that a student did. And then we've got cups. Capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. So make sure that things, you have your verb and your verb agreements, subject, etc. So let's talk some more about it. So editing and revising are both very important, and they help catch, and they just help perfect and sort of polish that diamond that is your paper. Arms and cups are good ways of remembering each steps in each. And you can go back and reread your work after you have made your changes to double check your work. So it's kind of a way to kind of force you to do that, which, I think is good. Ideas are great, and I get a lot of submissions from students because it's online, because you're in middle school. Not always because you're in middle school, so forgive me if that's not necessarily true. But sometimes students write really great ideas, but it's just kind of a brainstorm, much more than it is a finished paper or even a draft. And so it's something to be aware of. You want to go back at least a couple of times and check on that. So that was a real simple one. So let's go to this next one. This next one is called STAR, and it's also a revision way of going. So ladies, when I go ahead and send you out your information for your survey, you'll be able to say what is the C or the U or the P stand for, and what does the A or the R or the M or the S stand for. And I'm going to go back and re-say that in just a moment. And then you're going to be able to know what the S or the T or the A or the R stand for. So let's do that. Revision, of course, means to see again. There it is. Went away for a second. Okay. So we will be able to identify the 4 revision strategies in the STAR acronym, and you'll be able to use the STAR method to revision strategies to revise your writing. Revising is all about making changes to the words and ideas in your writing. Again, ideas, it's bigger. Editing is smaller. So let's talk about the STAR revision. STAR, substitute, as in arms, take out, add, and rearrange. Substitute. Did you overuse words? Are there common words that you could be replaced with something more precise? Nothing wrong with dictionary.com or thesaurus.com. I do love thesaurus.com. Did I spell that right? Yes, I think so. So, vague words, etc. Repetitive details. Add. Rearrange, moving things around if it doesn't make sense. And don't be afraid to do that. They're all your ideas. So substitute, add, rearrange. So let's try this again. I want to go back over here. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to go here. Back to the beginning. Okay, let's talk about, so in revise, we've got arms. The first one is add, then remove, then move, then substitute. If we were to go to the other one, which sorry, I spelled that wrong, it also is substitute, take out. So tell me, what is the arms word for takeout? What is the other word for takeout? There's takeout in this one, and what is it in the other one? It's the same, exactly. So you can use, so if I put, I promise you to not do it, I promise not to be ambiguous, as in I promise not to trick you when I'm giving you the little quiz, trying to keep those as nice and straightforward as possible. But it's the same concepts, that's all I'm saying. So then we've got add, which is also in the other one, and then rearrange. Can you tell me what the rearrange is in arms? It's the same idea, it's just a different word, and you had it immediately. Diamond? Move! Perfect. No, I like that better. I like that spelling better. Makes me smile. Okay, so we have those. And then cups, of course, is the editing. Make sure that we use the capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. Capitalization, punctuation, capitalization, usage, and spelling, which is awesome. So these are really nice things. Now, when you entered the course with me, you knew that I called the things in cups, pretty much called them what? Do you remember? It starts with a C, and I think I used it at the beginning of our, it's all things, punctuation, capitalization, grammar, spelling, all of that. Do you remember the word I used? It's okay if you don't. But the whole, so you may see something on your survey that might say, cups is also a detailed way of referring to what? And it does start with a C. Thank you. That is what I was looking for. Conventions. So when I ask, don't forget your conventions, and then you'll see that it's punctuation, capitalization, all of those things. So that's the sort of the smaller little details of it. So you think about revise as ideas, and edit is the nitty-gritty details, the nuts and bolts. Okay, so let's talk about this. We have some other aspects of our course this week. Nope, that's not this course this week. So, there it is. There it is. Okay, so I want to thank you. That was pretty quick. There it is. I wanted to show you what you'll be graded on this week. So this is how it's going to look. You've got your main idea and purpose. So here's an example of what that would look like. What is proficient? So this is 16 out of 20 would be proficient. So this is B work. Partially proficient, organization, so all of these are there. And then we're going to look at the full rubric, and then I will let you go for the day, just really quick. How to polish. So highly proficient would be a clearly main idea, nice development that makes sense, good organization that makes sense, that you are reflective on what you wrote and the information. That there's had some sort of impact on you, positively, negatively, intellectually, emotionally, some kind of impact. And then, of course, your communication score, which is the same as what we've been talking about this whole time. Are the mechanics there? So I want to thank you, and I really want to encourage you that if you do have questions to contact me. Okay? I hope you have a great day, and thank you. I will see you soon.